Sharma here. We are going to discuss basic things about unconformity. So, there are 5 types of unconformity: angular, paraconformities, disconformity, in which local is associated with disconformity only because local it represents the small areas, and uh, disconformity and local disconformity, the characters between these two are similar. Now, blended and nonconformity. So, first of all, what is unconformity? It is a erosional or non-depositional surface separating two rocks masses or strata of different ages. Means uh, there are uh, there are two depositional beds, right? Two depositional bed. Suppose this is the younger depositional bed and this is the older one. So these two rock beds, these two rock masses or strata, so this two already represents different ages of deposition. So this layer which is separating these two rock masses is called unconformity. Now come to angular angular unconformity. Here the sedimentary rocks are deposited in tilted and eroded layers, producing an angular discordance with the overlying horizontal layers. So these are the tilted rock masses. These are the tilted rock masses, and this angular disconformities means the angles between these all tilted rock masses are not same. They vary in different tilted rock masses, right? Now come to paraconformities. Here, widespread gaps in between the layer are found. The sedimentary layers below and above the gaps are parallel. So here you can see the sedimentary layer means the depositional layer, the younger layer. This is the depositional layer and this is the gap. Okay, so they are having a gap wide geological gap between the depositional layer and the another older means older deposition layers. So they are having the wide gap in between them. Sedimentary layers, generally you can note that the sedimentary layers are on the above, means on the top, as because they are the younger depositional layer, right? So in paraconformities, you have to keep it in mind that below and above the surface, the gaps are parallel. Means this is the above surface, and this is the below. So in between these, the bed should be parallel. The unconformity should be parallel. So this is called paraconformities. So now come to disconformity. It is an unconformity between parallel layers of sedimentary rocks which represent a period of erosion or non-deposition. It means that these two layers between the older deposition layer, older, and the younger deposition layer. Between these two layers, this beds, the unconformity is in parallel way. Okay, is in parallel layers. So this two also shows different ages of deposition, right? Represent a period of erosion or non-deposition. um, Now come to disconformity. It is an unconformity between parallel layers of sedimentary rocks which represent a period of erosion or non-deposition. Right? This you can see in the diagram that these two layers are parallel between the younger deposition layer. So now come to disconformity. It is an unconformity between parallel layers of sedimentary rocks which represent a period of erosion or non-deposition. So in this diagram, the parallel layers, you can see in the diagram parallel layers between the younger deposition layer and the older deposition layer. Right? This too shows also different ages. Ages are different. And in this, the unconformity between these two beds are parallel. So this unconformity, which is found parallel between the older deposition layer and the younger deposition layer of sedimentary rocks, are called disconformity. Nonconformity. It exists between sedimentary rocks and metamorphic or igneous rocks. Means in this you can see the younger sedimentary rocks on the above of this bed, and this bed is igneous or metamorphic rock. Maybe it is a igneous mass or metamorphic rock. Okay, above this bed, whatever the deposition of sedimentary rocks is there, we know that means above the surface, if the deposition takes place, it is the younger sedimentary rocks, means younger deposition layer. So this layer which bisects, which just separate the younger sedimentary layer and the igneous mass or metamorphic rock is called the nonconformity. So now come to the last, blended unconformity. In this, the surface of erosion may be covered by a thick residual soil that grades into the underlying bedrocks. It means that suppose this is a bed, and this is the layer. This is the layer of erosion, right? From here the erosion, in this layer, if the erosion takes place, then what happened after the erosion, this layer is covered with the residual soil. Residual soil covered this layer after eroded of this layer, right? So this is generally called blended unconformity. And residual soil, you may be knowing that any weathering when the weathering takes place and the parent rocks gets eroded, they form the residual soil. So it is covered with this area, and generally this is the older depositional layer. So residual soil becomes the topmost layer, this youngest one. Okay, thank you.